Hey guys, Serena Starlight with you. I hope everyone's doing well and fabulous today. So, I'm going to talk about a story time and also something that Hecate told me. Now, this is something she told me years and years and years and years ago when she first came to me. This was a long time ago. Now, I've kept this to myself because people, I just feel like people won't believe me, you know, and they would have a hard time accepting it. So, when Hecate first came to me, one of the first things I asked her, after confirming that she was not a trickster spirit, confirming numerous times that she was who she was, I asked her, what is a deity? Because this is, the first time I started working with a deity. Michael came to me first, but she was the first deity that came to me. And I was like, I don't understand what you are. What is a deity? I don't understand what a deity is. And point blank period, she gave me the answer. She's like, well, source, right? What people call God, not the guy in the Bible, but source, the real creator, light, source. It doesn't have a name, doesn't have a physical vessel, from what I know of, she said that, light, source, the actual real creator, that thing, right? I was like, yes, I know about that thing. She's like, well, everyone calls it God, and that's okay to call it God. She's like, it's okay to call it God. So I was like, okay, she's like, that's what people, refer to it as. It's okay to call it God, goddesses, goddess, God, the creator, that being the real creator, which we all came from. I was like, yes, I understand. And she's like, well, it created the deities. It created me. She's like, basically, it's so hard for me to explain it, guys. She showed me the Big Bang. She showed me how the deities came about, and I don't know how to really put it into words, so excuse me. I'm going to try to explain it the very best I possibly can. But basically, when this creator created us, it realized that it needed help with us. This thing is so powerful. It has ascended fully, and it's kind of far from us because it has ascended so high up, and anyway, this thing is like so high up in the celestial realms. It's a bright white light that is so high up in the celestial realm that it's kind of far from us. We're a part of it. We are connected to it. We came from it. We are it. But it's still, the creator's still kind of far from us, and there's so many of us. That she said, well, this creator, God, if you want to call it, decided, well, you know what? I need help. I need something that's closer to the humans and other things as well, not just us. It didn't just create us. But I'm a human, so let's use humans as an example. But I was like, I need something to help the humans, something that's closer to the earth, something that's closer to them, something that's not human, but kind of understands human. That's not almost human, but kind of like a human, but not a human. It's like I said, it's very difficult for me to explain. Anyway, she said, this thing was like, I need help. I need help helping the humans, essentially. So she's like, you know what? God created the deities, and she explained to me, she was one of the first deities that this creator made. She's one of the most powerful. She's one of his main helpers. She was like, that's what we are, essentially. I grew up Christian, so she was trying to explain it in a term that I would understand. So she's like, you know what? We're God helpers. We are God's helpers. We are the creator's helpers. We're like his little minions, we help the humans for him. We do work on earth for him. We are his helpers. We are like his children, but we are meant to help, his creation, I guess you could say. But she's like, the deities, they came from God, the creator, the source, and they are creations of that thing. And they are, very powerful, not as powerful as the ultimate creator, the ultimate light source, but they almost are. She explained to me that, she is one of the most powerful deities. She really is. She was one of, I think it's very possible that she was the first deity. If not, she's on the, the top of that list of, the first ones that were created. And, basically she said, we're of God, we're created. And remember, I'm not talking about the God in the Bible, I'm referring to the creator, the source. I'm the same God, whatever. But, she was saying, deities are of God, they were created by God, and they are God's helpers. And that they were made to help mankind. They were made to help his creations. Everything, all the beings that he created the deities to help them. Because it's hard for him to do it all himself. He, she, I don't even think it has a gender. It's just a source. But it is sentient. I don't know if I said that word right, but it's intelligent, it's aware, it's powerful, and we're all a part of it. It's light. But I'm trying to explain it the best way I can, but she showed me the Big Bang, the explosion, and then she showed me, this thing creating the deities. It was like offshoots of itself. I'm trying really hard to explain it. It looked like bright light coming off of it, but like a rock almost. I don't know how to explain it, how she showed it to me, but that's what she explained to me what a deity is. She said deities are of God, they're created by God, they're God's helpers, they're meant to help God, they're meant to help us for God. They're workers for God. Not the God in the Bible, I'm just using the name God. Creation source. And, she explained that she is one of the most powerful. If she wasn't the first, she was either the second or the third this creator made. But she's very powerful, and I do feel she's kind of holy in a sense. Everyone just sees her as dark, and dark is like her, she is very dark, but not evil dark. I mean, like a beautiful dark. But, she does have a super, light side to her that is very bright and beautiful. But yeah, she does the creator's work. She helps cross over lost souls. Is it too much for this creator to just do everything itself? So it created, things that were almost as powerful as it, and to help humans, to help lost souls, to help the earth. And probably not just us on the earth, but probably, everything else, other planets, other species, So yeah, and then she was showing me oranges. How she really likes oranges, and that a lot of deities. Anyway, I ran out of time, but she was showing me how a lot of angels and deities like oranges, and I was smelling citrus and orange so strongly when she was giving me this message. So yeah, there's something special about oranges. But let me tell you guys something. This is a story time. I ended up meeting this person completely randomly, unexpectedly, and she came up to me. She's like, you know, you have Archangel Michael with you, right? She's like, I see Michael with you. I'm like, I shook my head, yes, yeah, I do work with Archangel Michael. And then she, she kind of looked at me. She's like, she was thinking, she's like, there's someone else. She's like, there's someone else. And she's like, oh, it's Hecate. She's like, you have Hecate with you. I was like, yep. And guys, I kid you not, we both started smelling oranges. A strong sense of citrus and oranges. And we started talking, like, you smell that orange? I was like, yeah, I smell the orange. You smell the orange? And we're talking about how the spirits like oranges, especially Hecate and Michael. And out of nowhere, I didn't say anything to make her say this. Out of nowhere, this woman told me, she was like, you know what Hecate told me and Archangel Michael told me. I was like, what did they tell you? She's like, they told me they are God's helpers, God's creation. I was amazed. Okay, guys, I was amazed. She's like, that's what deities are. She's like, I don't know if you know this, but deities are, my phone's going off. Deities are God's helpers. They were created by God, and they help God by helping us. He created them to help us. And she's like, you know, Hecate told me this when she first came to me. Guys, I've never been so shocked in my entire existence. I mean, I was just flabbergasted. I was like, are you for real? I was like, Lord, I told this girl, I was like, Hecate gave me that exact same message, word for word. I couldn't believe it. My mind was blown. I was flabbergasted. I still am flabbergasted. I told her, I was like, you won't believe I got that exact same message from Hecate. Her mind was blown too. She's like, you got that exact same message? I was like, yes. I was like, you know, when she came to me and told me that, I started smelling the oranges. She was like, I started smelling the oranges too. We couldn't believe it. Okay, our minds were blown. We went on and on and on about this. But yeah, that's a story time I want. Anyway, we went on and on to talk about Hecate and Michael, but we couldn't believe it. I mean, I couldn't believe that this woman just out of nowhere, didn't even ask her, said the exact same thing, word for word, what Hecate told me. So I think that was Hecate's way of confirming to us that the message that she gave us was real, that it was legit, that she really did come from source, that this is what deities truly are. You know? So I'm still flabbergasted about this. My phone's just going crazy. I'm still flabbergasted about this. It still blows my mind to this day. But I have my answer of what deities are, what they truly are. You know? And I think that's what angels are too, to be honest with you. I think angels are a little different though. I'm gonna have to ask more about the angels. But I think the angels live in the light. I think they live in the celestial realms, right in the light, like right in the creator. I think this light being. And the deities don't seem to live in that light. They seem to be closer to the earth, to us, to mankind. That's what I think. That's kind of what they're showing me right now. But yeah, I'm gonna have to ask more about the angels. So anyway, guys, I hope this makes sense. I hope you enjoyed my story time. If people think I'm lying, if they think I'm crazy, so be it. I don't care. You know, hopefully, you know, someone will like this story time, and maybe someone else has had the same thing happen to them. Anyway, like, comment, follow, subscribe. Spell work on coffee. Readings are on Etsy. Bye.